So right now you have a front of house role, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still do breakfast. You know, I still do breakfast in the mornings.
And if your head chef, for example, was to fall in, you're happy to step in?
Yeah, my second chef is amazing as well. Like, he's
Okay.
absolutely brilliant, and they work with each other to say, look, if I have to go here, you would never know there's a change in chef. But then there's always the thing that I can, like, there's always things that fall into place, like people get sick, people die, and it could happen all at the one time, you know. So I know I can jump in there, no problem. Maybe to do pastry, breakfast, main course, anything.
Do you think having the chefing training has changed your outlook now on?
Well, I think it's nearly essential if you're going to own your own business or have your own business, to have a chefing background, definitely, or do some kind of course, because at least you know if there's something going out, the head chef can't say to you, because not all head chefs are, they're renowned, a lot of them, for being shitty, like, and it's there, they know. But if they know that you know, and you can say, well, that's not right, like, and that is well done and should be medium, and you know, different things, and the quality of things, they can't fight back with you. So you have and at the end of the day, if they do walk out, leave you, it's never happened to me, thank God, it's never happened, but I know a lot of places it has happened, and it has closed, and it's closed them down, like.
Yeah.
But if you know that, okay, it's going to cause, you know, hassle somewhere else, maybe front of house, but you nearly always can get through front of house. But if your chef walks out and leaves, you're really in. But I've been very lucky with staff, very lucky. Like,
you have quite a number of French.
It's French influenced. The menus definitely French influenced, but with an Irish influence as well from my side. Like, you have to, because we're dealing with a lot of local people that want their potatoes and they want their chips and they want good sized portions. Give it to them. If that's what they want and they're going to pay for it, give it to them. That's my opinion, you know.
But it's nice also to have, obviously, the French influence.
Yeah, oh, it's lovely. It was the French, like my head chef's French, second chef, 2 pastry chefs are French, commis chef is French.
Wow.
Yeah, and then probably 4 dining room staff, 1 front of house as well is French.
You've quite
good.
A good band with the, is it a hospitality or a hotel school in France for these?
Yeah, we get students every year. We have a connection with 2 colleges now, which is amazing.
Okay.
They're,
who are they,
the names I can't just think of offhand.
But they send students.
They send students to us
annually.
Yeah, one of the colleges actually is the best one we deal with all the time. They come in May and they leave in October, which is come for the season.
Great.
They're gone when you don't need that. Like, we need to wind down in October with staff. They leave. They're on basically only on a trainee's fee for 2 months.
They live in house?
Yeah, well, you have to provide accommodation. So
right.
we either find a house or an apartment, or we have 1 bedroom that we can use for them.
Okay.
And you just feed and water them, and they come, and their English is usually basically quite bad when they come, but once they start socialising and going out, they're amazing. They're brilliant. And every student that we've had from the colleges have been fantastic, because it's their career. It's not like,
it's seen as a very elite career though in France, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're brilliant, and they come to Ireland and they love Ireland. They love it because they've come back.
How do they do with the weather in Donegal?
They're grand. They enjoy the pubs, like, so the social life, I think.
Well, no wonder their English is so improved.
Yeah.
How do you understand half of them up there? I never know.
But no, they're great. Their English comes on so well, and most of the students have actually come back then when they're qualified and work for me then as well.
Wow,
yeah.
That's a great compliment to you and to Cassie.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Really? What about yourself, I suppose, Marguerite, your future aspirations in life? I mean, is there anything that you'd like to do in your own lifetime?
Well, I'm going travelling now to Australia. It's something that I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
And I want to do a lot of travelling. There's loads of places I want to go and see. Maybe open somewhere else. I do have a wee urge to open somewhere else. Don't know where yet, like, but because when you're travelling, you see all these good ideas and you think, yeah, that could work. You know?
Okay.
And I also like the bar end of things, the bar trade, and I'd be tempted to open a bar as well. Locally, you know, for me, locally there's an opening there's nowhere actually upbeat and trendy to go, and I think there's a need for it somewhere, so it's something maybe I would look into, but doing food with it, you know, like you do
upmarket bar
with food, kind of funky food, and you know,
Can you tell me, I suppose you've probably come across some, I suppose, some lessons that you've learned that during your time dealing with people, anything that stands out to mind that was a hard lesson you would have learned in your time?
It's probably been plenty, but there's one like that, you know, the way people always say the customer is always right, but to me, I disagree. Was if I really believe that that at Castlemory, if the product is right, and the person is saying, well, that fish is frozen, and you know, like it's not frozen, it's come in fresh, I actually would stand by and say, well, I would argue back. Like, I know you're not meant to, but I think
if you know your product,
if you know it's right, like, and you know, like I've often got the fish that's just been gutted and then put it on and just brought it out and said, well, like, how can that be frozen? Like, that's what you're after eating, you know.
What are people's reactions to?
Oh, they're just like shocked, and a few people have apologised. It hasn't happened very often, like, you know. If you're in the wrong, you'll say, okay, I'm in the wrong. But once you know, like, that you've just prepared it, and they're sending it back and telling you it was frozen fish, like, you know it's right. You know.
I remember you saying a couple of things about Gordon Ramsay in that he had done, I suppose, likewise in his own restaurants. Do you think that's something that you had picked up? Like, as in he obviously stands very, very true to his food.
Yeah, I think so. I think you should too. Yeah.
Can you tell me, I suppose, who would have been one of the most inspiring people in your career to date? Possibly maybe a family member or something?
My father, probably, yeah.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, supposedly he pushed, it was him that kind of pushed for me to come from London and get into the business in Killybegs, which was scary because I had never been even second chef in anywhere.
Okay.
I'd run a pastry section, I might have run a starter section, but I never had, you know, the running of the kitchen. So that was hard going, and even to know how your tables would work and how your, you know, what you would order even on a weekly basis.
Okay.
So
it was a big learning curve.
It was a huge, like, and I cried myself to sleep many a night and said, what can I do? But now I'm glad, like, I pushed to do it because, like, I'm 31 now, I have my own, it is very successful because even I met people in Dubai who goes, we can never get a table in your restaurant. I was like, that's a good sign.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's probably,
Your dad.
yeah, probably.